Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we are going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
Now, if you're looking forward to a really disruptive mindset conversations that is going to move you closer to the life you've always dreamed to have, like we all live to Omobola Stephen, focus on self-improvement and personal development, and it's a podcast you like to listen to. With expert and professionals who have great and incredible insight to share on the show moving forward. Now, on today's show, I have Wayne Mullins, who is the founder and CEO of Ugly Mug Marketing. He's also the creator of the Freelance Accelerator and author of Full Circle Marketing. Hi, Wayne. Welcome to Like We Lived.
Thank you so much. I'm excited for our chat today.
All right, excited for our chat also. Looking forward to a really worthwhile time. Now, when you're here to share insights on mirror leadership, social media marketing, digital marketing in general, and also brand versus personal branding, that's a really great topic for discussion. Now, let's begin with this question, because I understand that it is difficult and expensive to bring new products and services to market, especially difficult for new companies. So the reason is that for these, entrepreneurs need to be more resourceful in their marketing strategy. Why is this very important, Wayne?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So in the early days, we often go into this business or into a business, and we are somewhat blinded by this thing that we love, whether it's our product or our service. And we're all excited and we believe in this thing so much that we think the world is going to just jump, into our shopping cart or come to our store or whatever it may be and hire us. And often what we discover is that is not the case. And one of the lessons that I've learned over the years is this, that, when we begin a business, what happens is all of our friends, all of our family, they support us. They tell their friends about us. And the reason they do that is not because of our product or because of our service, but because of us. They trust us as individuals, as human beings. And as we begin to grow and scale a company, what happens is we begin moving further and further degrees of separation from the people who know us. And when we do that, what happens is we have to learn to impart trust. In other words, we have to learn to communicate in a way that gets people who don't know us, who may live on the opposite side of the world or opposite side of the country or the city or whatever it may be, to trust that our product, our service, ourselves are going to deliver on whatever it is that we're selling. And so a mistake I see so many make is they don't place enough emphasis on building trust as they begin scaling and growing their businesses.
Oh, right. So why in the world will my website not be doing anything to grow my business? This for real?
It is for real. It's a common problem that we see with so many people. So they get this thing, a beautiful website. It's the thing that they've been wanting. They finally hire somebody to create it and they build this website out. And then what happens is absolutely nothing happens. And so one of the biggest mistakes I think people make is this. They believe that having something beautiful or something creative will result in more traffic or more conversions on their website. And that is not the truth. So we lose sight of what matters most. And we have this framework that we call the critical 5. And it's just 5 simple questions that anyone can ask about each page on their website. And if you ask these questions and you're honest and truthful with yourself, I can promise you, if you answer those questions and make adjustments based on your answers, your website will get better. So the super quick version of these questions is this. The first question is who's here? So who is on this page? Like what's the person? What are they? Who are they? And what's interesting is as people move through our website, the person, although it may be the exact same person, they change because if they're on our homepage, they're maybe just getting a little bit of information. But then if they're reading our about page, we know they're a little bit more serious, right? They're checking us out. And then if they make it to our sales page, we know they're a different person. They're in a different mindset because now they're actually exploring the possibility of doing business with us. So for each page on our website, we want to ask who's here. The next question is, what do we want them to do? Like who's here? What do we want them to do now that they're here on this page? What do we want this person to do? Next question is, how do we want them to do that? Do we want them to click? Do we want them to call? Do we want them to read? How do we want them to take this action that we want them to take? The next one is when. When do we want them to take that action? We often assume that we want people to take immediate action, but the reality is sometimes when it comes to our websites, a big part of our websites is about building trust, that trust that we talked about a minute ago. And the final question is this. This is the most important one. Why should the person who's on our page take the action that I want them to take for their benefit, not for ours? Again, we approach it from our perspective too often instead of putting ourselves in the shoes of the visitor on our website. And when we put ourselves in their shoes and we ask that question, why should they take that action? It completely flips the script in terms of what we're doing.
Right. Beautifully crafted way. Now, every business owner, they're interested in marketing their products and services to the end user. But when their marketing effort, right, to achieve success, when it keeps failing at each time, do you think something may be wrong, something they're not doing pretty well?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. There's two questions that I love to get entrepreneurs to ask every single day. Question number one is, what have I done today to attract a new customer? And the beauty of that simple question is this: if you are doing the same thing, so when you ask yourself that question, if your answer is the exact same every single day, but you're not seeing the fruits of those labors, it becomes a warning sign to you, right? It gives you some clues. But if you don't ask yourself that first question every single day, what happens is you're doing a bunch of stuff, hoping that it's working, and you're unsure if it is. And the reason you're unsure is because you're throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, if you will. The second question is, what have I done to keep a customer today? Now, the goal of keeping a customer, there's lots of reasons. There's lots of data that shows that existing customers are more likely to buy again in the future. Existing customers are worth way more money to us as entrepreneurs, as business owners. But the goal of keeping a customer, in my opinion, is to not only just keep them, but to convert them into evangelists for our products, for our services, for our companies. So what have I done to attract a customer? And then what have I done to actually keep a customer today?
Right. Now let's talk about social media marketing. Now I'm thinking a few people do not understand what it is. Now I must tell you this because I've had clients who keep coming back to me, Omobola, you know what? It isn't working for my business. I have employed social media marketing, then I'm not seeing the result. Is there anything they're doing wrongly, or is there strategies they need to put in place in need to achieve success in the social marketing effort?
Yeah, you're spot on with that, because we hear the same thing. We often hear from clients that social media doesn't work for me, or all these reasons that the new platform or the old platform, whatever it may be, isn't working for them. And here's the biggest mistake I think people make when it comes to social media. They're not actually doing social media. They're actually doing digital media. And so the difference is this: the word social means interaction. It means engagement. It means a conversation, not a dialogue, right? And so often we show up on these platforms that we call social media, and we get up there, and I say we show up and throw up. We get on the screen and we say what we want to say. We make our post about what we want to make, and then we ignore the comments. We ignore the likes. We ignore actually engaging our audience in a meaningful and I guess a conversation that could ultimately lead to a sale or to a customer for our business or for our brand.
Oh, right. Now, talking about brand, now tell me, what is brand image really? What does it do to a business?
Brand is so important. I think what we mistake as entrepreneurs is we believe that the brand is what we say or how we describe ourselves. And in reality, your brand is how other people talk about you. So if you want to know truly what your brand is, you need to remove yourself from the equation. You need to hear how people talk about your product, your service, your company when you're not around, because that is the brand image that you have. We all know that as entrepreneurs, we love our businesses. These are our babies, right? And we don't want to call our baby ugly, but sometimes we have to face the hard and harsh reality that other people may not be as in love with our product, our service, our company as we are. And so we need to get an outside perspective. We need someone who's willing to tell us the hard truths that we may not want to hear about our brand image and what it represents.
Oh, thank you once again, Wayne Mullins, for that. So what is the point of a personal brand? because I value personal brand so much, and I think it's very important. Going forward, I really want you to talk more about personal brand. Why is it of use?
It's of use regardless if you're an entrepreneur or you work for a corporation. And the reason is this: we all, I firmly believe this, we all are our own CEOs of our own lives. And so if you're working right now, if you're working for a company and you're on the entrepreneurial path, right, you want to do something in the future on your own, it makes a lot of sense for you to begin building out your own personal brand, begin building out your followers so that when you're ready to launch, you have an audience there waiting for you. Now, if you, let's say you're in the corporate world and you want to stay working for other people, building out your personal brand still gives you the ability to position yourself as an expert, as a trusted advisor, as a leader, as a mentor within the structure, within the organization that you currently exist in. So, thanks to social media, thanks to all these various platforms, we all now have the ability to craft our own personal brands. The challenge is we don't give enough time and attention to understanding what that brand actually represents. And I think that's a mistake that so many of us make.
Oh, great. Absolutely. Wayne, going forward, you are a leader in your business, and I'm also a leader. We also have different leaders out there managing one business concerns or the other. Now, I'd like us to talk about leadership and business, now very critical for such a time as this. I want us to talk about why should they be a mirror leader and not a megaphone leader? Now, I would like you to expatiate more on this, differentiate between what the megaphone leader is and also a mirror leader, and why we should opt for mirror leadership.
Yeah. And so I've had to learn this lesson the hard way. Leadership was something that never came natural to me. And as a matter of fact, I spent years telling myself that I was not a good leader, not a good manager. And I've had to work really hard over the last probably 6 years, 7 years on learning to lead. And what I discovered in that journey is this: that the most difficult, the most challenging person, and the most important person that you will lead every single day is the person who looks back at you in the mirror. I'm a firm believer in this quote: how you do anything is how you do everything. And so you can't stand at the mirror and tell yourself, tomorrow I'm going to get up and go work out. And then tomorrow you don't get up and go work out, and then go to work and tell your team you want them to do X, Y, or Z when you won't even hold yourself to the standards that you set for yourself, right? So until we learn to hold ourselves to a higher standard, inside of us, when we try to hold other people to a higher standard, we're going to feel like a fraud. We're going to feel like a fake because we know we don't even hold ourselves to that higher standard. And I think so often what happens is we mistake this idea of a leader with a manager. And I believe that we should always manage things and lead people. So manage things and lead people. And those are two completely different functions within a business, within an organization. But for me, mirror leadership is about knowing that the person in the mirror that looks back at me in the morning is the most difficult person I'm going to have to lead that day. And if I can learn to lead that person, I can learn to lead other people as well.
Right. Now, do you think that every leader should be looking forward to becoming one?
I do. I believe that's a great place to start.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you once again, Wayne Mullins, for your insight on today's show. Wayne, you have some important and exciting projects in the pipeline. I would love you to share with my audience if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. So the easiest place to find out what we're doing as a company is on our website, uglymugmarketing.com. All of our social media links are there, phone numbers, emails, and you can stay up to date on the things that we're doing as a company and as an organization. If you're interested in just more of like some mix of business and personal, you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Fire Yourself. And I share lots of business advice there, but also some personal leadership, personal development things there as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for that once again. When do you have any parting words you'd like to share with my audience?
I do. The parting words would be this: that consistency creates miracles. And in our lives, in our businesses, in our work, in our families, in relationships, Consistency is the thing that's going to create the miracles in our lives. The problem is we get so short-sighted. We expect to do the thing today, see the fruit tomorrow. It's not the way it works, right? We live in this universe, in this world of natural cause and effect. You don't plant a seed today and then go curse the ground tomorrow because the seed hasn't grown or hasn't sprouted or hasn't produced fruit, right? These things take time. We have to nurture, we have to cultivate. So be consistent with yourself, be patient with yourself. And I firmly believe that consistency will create miracles.
Absolutely. Now, that's an inspiring and motivating line you got here, Wayne. Thank you once again for that. It's really been a worthwhile time having Wayne Mullins, the founder and CEO of Ugly Mug Marketing and the creator of the Freelance Accelerator, author of Full Circle Marketing Online World with Omobola Stephen. Now, if you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of the podcast, you can do so on any cross promotion platforms, on any podcast distribution platforms you bump into online, and do have an amazing time. Perhaps you'd like to be a guest on the show. You can mail me at omobolastephen.outlook.com or check my website, www.omobolastephen.online, to get to know more about me and what I've been up to. Till I come your way, I need you to be good. I need you to stay safe without my contact. Bye for now.